Point number, I don't know, but let's take this as 6. Yes, 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 sorry, go ahead. You did? And I talked the same thing? Okay, sorry. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, that's a good point. My advice to you, next time, send that Facebook request, but put a pretty girl's name in the picture, the Facebook profile. No, I'm just kidding. But sorry about it. I'll tell you why I did not accept it. In my Twitter, I have 55,000 followers. And if someone follows me, out of courtesy, I immediately follow back. Because of that, my timeline, Twitter timeline is fished. Meaning, it's completely, it just goes like that. And I have no meaningful conversation with any of the people on Twitter. Imagine Twitter feeds of 55,000 people. Even if you had 50 friends, it'll be difficult for you to follow. And I promise myself I will never do that mistake. On Facebook, I will only accept friends who I've met in real life. I will only accept friends who will add meaning to my life, and I will add meaning back to them. So your best bet, so Mark Zuckerberg actually found the solution to this problem, and he had the subscribe button. So if you want to follow someone, just click subscribe and you get all this kind of thing, right? Point number seven. How many of you have done internship in companies? Raise your hands. Put your hands down. How many of you have done internship that is not required by your college? Raise your hands. Very impressive, extremely impressive. This you must do. For the rest of you who did not raise your hands, this is a great way. It's important for you to go work in another company to truly realize what you can learn. I did my engineering and I majored in instrumentation technology. 4 years. Now, I don't even know the spelling of instrumentation. I use nothing what I've studied in those 4 years in any one of what I'm studying. Trust me. So I think college is something that you have to just grit your teeth and just pass by. Okay? In the corporate world, the most important lessons are learned on the job by doing, by making mistakes, by meeting the right people. So if you want to succeed in life and overtake the person, your competition, a good way is to find out your true calling. What sort of a work would you like to do? What company would you like to work in? What role would you like to play? Are you interested in HR, in marketing, in sales? Figure it out and go and find out the companies and approach them. Do not worry about money. Ask for the experience of working and you will thank me later, trust me. Right? So that's tip number 7. Tip number 8, and a good way to reach out to people is target the alumni of your college. All of us have this soft corner to our college. You may hate your college right now, but trust me, 10 years later, you will love your college, no matter how bad it is. All of us have this kind of a fond feeling towards our college, and that's a sentiment you have to tap. Using the internet, find out some of the alumni members and go and ask them, listen, I'm from the same college as you studied, and I'm interested in doing an internship and learning on the job. Would you mind giving me a 2-week, 4-week, 2 months opportunity to work with you? And by the way, don't pay me. That's an irresistible offer. Right? Go for it. My house is in Virugambakam. And there's this guy who came to pick me up. Shit, I forgot his name. Joshua. That's right, Joshua Saxena. He really kind of, that name really stood apart. And I was as we were driving the car from Brugambakam towards this venue, and we had this small talk going on. And I asked him, so what are you interested in? What do you do? What's your goal? We all did the usual thing. And it took about 35 minutes to get from there to here, and it was a conversation that we had. And he also told me that he is vice president, handling a role, and you know what, and there are so many people out here, because when you do a particular role, by taking on responsibilities as a vice president, as let's say the leader of a cultural committee or a literary committee or a campus placement committee, if you're part of that, while in the college itself you actually have the experience of a corporate life. And it adds that beauty to your resume. Have you seen this Raymond's The Complete Man, the tagline? Things like these are ones that actually adds that completeness to your profile. Trust me, the marks that you get, they don't get the respect in the corporate life as much as you think it is getting. And your college authorities will put the fear in you that if you get lesser marks, you may not get. It is just a gatekeeping method for you to just get that first door. The minute you get your first job and you step inside, that's how important that marks are. But once you get it in, nobody looks into your marks. They will look into they will look into how complete is your profile, what are your other interests. And because a guy with a well-rounded profile is a guy who actually does very well in the job. I'll give you an example. In my class, engineering class, the first 10 rank holders, who we call fruit, the first 10 rank holders are not the guys getting the 10 biggest salaries. Let me repeat it. The first 10 rank holders are not the guys getting the 10 fattest salaries, making the most money. You know who is making the most money? Guy. No. Completely wrong. Definitely not the last benchers. But the guys who don't study art, but they study smart. I mean, these are guys who are street smart. That's the word I'm looking for. They're very, very street smart. They almost the guys that I've known, the 10 most successful guys, when you read through their profile, you find out that they excel in one sport or in one art. And they're very passionate about one of the hobbies. Very passionate. And if you excel in any area, it could be in playing mridangam to playing tennis, juggling, no matter what. And that rubs off on how good you are. Even in your work, in your studies. So ask yourself, are you good in any of the field? So if you're not, pick one up and really follow it up with passion. Have lots of hobbies and try something new. That's another one. My next advice, I think it's 11 or something. Yes, go ahead, please, shout. What do I do for a living? I run a social media company where we advise corporate clients on Web 2.0 strategies. For example, how can companies make use of blogs, podcasts, wikis, social networking sites like your LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter? How can they build communities online? How can they manage reputation management online? So this is all we do. And we offer it as a consulting basis. So some of my clients are Domino's Pizza, the British Council, Polaris. So we've got some very decent clients. That's what I do for a living. Yeah. And I also run another web development company called F5 Technologies. F5 as in the refresh button. And so we do open source web development. I'm also a farmer. So I cultivate, and I run a small, just started a book publishing company, only because nobody will publish my books, but let's give it to yourself. I didn't tell you that, okay. Good. Go ahead, please. Yes, I do. Oh, brilliantly. So let me tell you this. I have 0 sales guys in my company. 0. You know how sales happen? Most of it happens through word of mouth. And that's the business that we are in, helping companies make the most out of word of mouth. And I've realized that it's important for you to just go meet people. You have to be outgoing. For example, when you step out, ask yourself, how many of those 10 speakers or so that are out there, how many business cards have you collected from these speakers? If you don't have business cards, you're making a mistake. Once you pick up those business cards and walk out, how many of them will you keep in touch? If you don't do that, you're making a mistake. You know, one of the best lessons that I've learned is from my previous boss. I used to be an associate director in a company called Suleka.com, and the CEO, Satya Prabhakar. Awesome CEO. For me, it was like doing an MBA. You know what he does? When he takes the morning paper, he comes home, has his coffee and picks up his newspaper and reads. As he's reading, when he finds out a technology news item, he reads that technology news and finds out who's the person who wrote it. If it is Shilpa Krishnan, he will actually go online, search for Shilpa Krishnan, find out that email ID, the contact details, and he will note it down. So he has this big database, and so he adds it to that Excel sheet. And if he genuinely finds that article interesting, he'll actually send a word of appreciation. So likewise, he's got a fantastic list of business journalist contacts. And next time he launches a product or announces a major decision, he writes a personalized mail to each one of those people. And he gets better press coverage than any other company who pays 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs per month to a PR agency. Isn't that amazing? Just very simple. Every day you spend not more than 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes at the max, but it does you tremendous. These are people skills. Sorry, I'm going to ask this lady. She's been standing for too long.
Sir, I'm Sushita from SRM University. I would like to ask you, why do you actually say that people who are actually scoring good marks don't actually get a good salary? They are actually.
No. I'll tell you what. I was just playing to the gallery. I know 90% of the people are not in the top 10, so it's a good way to get claps, actually. No. Okay, I get your point. So in my defense, I'm going to say this, is that people who study hard do succeed, but it's those bookwormy kind of people who just focus only on marks and nothing else, right? I think they really do not do well in the corporate life, is what I've seen. Yes, please.
Would you like to tell to those people who actually are bookworms, what do they can actually do to actually get those best salary possible?
Sure. Thank you for waking up. Thank you. I was just saying about those 11 points, but you woke up in time. But no, just joking. Now, seriously, there is no magic trick, no magic wand in order to do big and do it. Here are some of the points that I've seen. It's helped me. I made huge mistakes, guys. Embarrassing, bad mistakes. Right? So, and I've learned it the hard way around. The best way for you to have, I'm assuming you're one of those super duper study girls, right? Yeah. So I get that. A good way you want to translate that into business is watch and learn. Simple. Watch and learn. Watch what are successful people doing. Take those good things and apply it onto your work life. Trust me, it works brilliantly.
Do you think marks are not necessary at all?
No, it's a valid point, right? So she has a valid point. Let me tell you that. I told you that marks are important for you to make that first door. You get elbow through and you get in. Until then, that's super important. But once you get past...
Actually, like to make myself
Okay, I'll tell, that's okay, that's okay. Um, can I move on to the next point? No, no, she doesn't want to. 5 minutes? Okay. No, you cannot. I'm going to move on. Right? Thank you. I'm going to quickly. Actually, no. That's okay. Tell me. Oh no, no. That's because I don't have money to pay salespeople. But don't get me wrong. You can. You, of course, you must have salespeople. Pay them well, and it'll do good. So. Okay, I did not get your question at all. So I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. So I'm going to move on. So will you guys excuse me just for the next 2 minutes or 5-7 minutes? I'm going to just finish off a few important points and then we'll take on the questions. Is that fine? Awesome, thank you. Next one, super important one. Travel abroad. Put that as a must-do activity. You should go out, you know, in the we make that mistake of just living in that closeted space in the well and just not stepping out. It's important for you to step out and to see and learn other cultures. It will open your eyes, guys. You know, to learn about, if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, trust me, you spend 1 week in Silicon Valley, in San Jose and places around that, you will learn far better than 20 conferences that you go and attend on entrepreneurship. In Silicon Valley, that's right. So just go out, spend time, whatever is your passion, just go out and you will learn a lot out of that. And that's why I think joining AIESEC actually makes sense, right? So, thank you. By the way, I'll collect the check later. No? Good. Another good way is get into couch surfing. Do you know what couch surfing is? Couch surfing is a way to travel the world for cheap, but you go and do not stay in hotels, but you stay in other people's homes. And it's a fantastic way of traveling on the cheap. And whether you're traveling or not, open up your homes for other people from other countries to come and stay in your house. It's a brilliant, brilliant thing. So, so I do that. I'm part of couchsurfing.com, and I have lots of people. I have Australians, Israeli guys, and Polish guys, Japanese come and stay at my home. And I have 2 daughters, and both of them are girls, by the way. They're 10 and 6. But I'll tell you what, it's just amazing how much they have learned from these foreigners. You know, they've never traveled abroad, but they're so comfortable meeting foreigners, and they learn so much. So I think that's something that you should definitely do. So without having to travel, it's a great way to get the world to your home, so that really helps. Yes. So I have to tell you this. Another one of my bucket list is to learn juggling. And I never learned. Tried always, and I could never get it. Last week, a guy from Germany came and stayed at my home, right? And he did something very remarkable. You know what he did? He picked up the 3 balls that I had, and he said, listen, it's very, very simple to learn juggling. First, what you do, you take this 1 ball and put it to your other hand. Right? You do this. Then you take the second ball, and you take this ball, put this, and as the ball goes up, you throw the other one and catch it. So do the same thing. Excellent. So you just repeat that with the 3rd ball, and just continue to do this. The guy must have spent like 5 minutes with me trying to learn this trick. And I spent an hour practicing. What I could do like for so long, It's amazing. And then after that, he went on and cooked some amazing German dinner for us. Oh, yummy. Right? It's just a brilliant way for you to, and that is true social networking, trust me. Right? If you think Facebook is it, I mean, this is like meeting people in the real is an amazing way to do it. That's it, I'm done. Questions? Go ahead, shout. The guy with the loudest voice. Yep. Other companies, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you this. Just follow this mantra, guys. Just follow. Whether it's work, it's your friends, it's anything to do in life. Just follow this mantra, and that's called, oh yes, or no, right? So I'm going to tell you this. Oh yes, or no. You have to just apply this to any decision that you're doing. If you don't like doing something from your heart, have the guts to say no. Say no. When you start saying no to things that you do not like, your life will be a fantastic collection of oh yeses in life. And that's when the quality of your life really goes up. Doesn't matter. You do not worry about, honestly, just look at yourself and what you truly enjoy. Right? See, first answer that question to yourself from your heart. Never live somebody else's life. Like Steve Jobs said, don't chase others' dreams, right? It's just that simple. But it's very difficult to follow in life, trust me. Extremely difficult to follow in life, but when you start doing that, you will. And another of my mentors said an amazing thing that changed my life. And he said, before you do anything, I know, I will go. Before you do anything, think of a chair. Step back 10 paces. Just look at the chair. He said, if the chair had one leg, it will fall down. If it had two legs, it will fall down. 3, it will stand. 4, even stronger. Agree? And he said, before you do anything, think of the chair and give yourself at least 3 reasons why you have to do a particular job. If you're convinced with those 3 reasons, you will 100% succeed in what you do. Right. So very quickly, we'll take the last 2 questions.
Good evening, sir. I'm Shankar from St. Joseph's College of Engineering. The question which I have is like, from what I've learned from you, you've been working in a company, your boss was great, and you had a good position as well. What made you switch careers? Not switch careers as such, what made you come out of it, start something new?
Okay.
That's my question.
So I'll tell you what. I'm working in this company, and we are this close to closing a $10 million funding. We are sitting with this VC, and that was the day my daughter, she was about 6.5 then, she acted in a school play. So that morning, my daughter called me and said that at 4 o'clock, I have the school play. Nana, I want you to come. I want you to come. And that very same evening, we had this meeting with a big VC, $10 million funding. So my CEO said, this is just too important, you have to stay back. I came home that day at about 11 o'clock, I think, after all the meeting. And then you come back, you ask yourself, why am I slogging my ass out for when I can't even go watch my own daughter's performance? That young kid, stars in her eyes, the satisfaction of seeing her dad in the auditorium. What's the point in earning all that money when you can't enjoy the simple pleasures in life? So it's very important. It's very important just to never forget. It's very important to never forget those. And I felt that it was a very brave decision to step out of a well-paying job, working under a great CEO, and leading a fantastic team. And you come out, remember, it's a big challenge. When you're working in a company, the first of every month is magical. You will have money automatically come into your bank account and you take your ATM card. When you're an entrepreneur, that's the day you dread. Right from the palkari to the newspaper guy will come and catch the road on day one. But it's very difficult, but if you can just go past that, your life, the quality of your life will go somewhere else. Which is why when people say, when Kalyan, when Suhas told about entrepreneurship, just take every word of what they're taking. Entrepreneurship is absolutely worth it. One last question.
Hello, sir. I am Adhuksh from SRM University. I want to ask, as you mentioned in your 10th point, the CEO of Sulekha.com, like you are doing like an MBA from him. So he was a role model for you, like a turning point, or who is it, the role model for you?
Oh, my role model?
Yeah, as you have 55,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
So who is your?
So my role model is a guy called Rajesh Sethi. He's a serial entrepreneur based out of the Silicon Valley. He's a serial entrepreneur. He is an investor in companies. He's a speaker and he is an author. And it's amazing how he's able to do all these things by putting his heart into whatever he does. And he always says that we're living in this world to have a great time, but also to help others as we go along. Right? So it's an amazing guy. It's difficult for you to have these multiple personalities in you, yet excelling and kicking ass in every one of them. And that's the guy who I look up to and really admire. All right. So I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to say thank you so much, guys. Right? I truly appreciate. If I can, do you know who's the guy who's handling the screen? Oh, by the way, that's my Limca Book of Records attempt to be the Indian with the maximum comic books collection. Right? So if you have comic books that you're not using, okay.